Hey guys, it's Ethan with Trackstar Motorworks. Today I'm going to be tuning this beautiful race car Miata behind me. Even better, it has a Honda K-Series. It is a K24 Z3, so it is the single exhaust port setup. It's Hondata control unit, of course, and lots of cool touches on this car, and it's garage built. It seems like it's working really well. This man did a good job setting the car up. You can do this. You can do this. I'm excited to get to it, make some horsepower for him so he can go enjoy the fruits of his labor. So we're just a couple pulls in. We're already doing pretty well though. It's above 200 wheel horsepower. I'm looking at the shape of the dyno plot in the top right corner here right now. And you can kind of see where the horsepower begins to roll off just a tiny bit. And then in that last little 700 RPMs or so, it starts to escalate. This is because the cam angle is in a moment of, it's been at full advance and now it's starting to retard back as we're getting higher in the RPM, and the retard, it looks like that retard needs to come a little bit sooner and a little bit more abruptly so that I don't get the roll off, and hopefully I can make it just pick up and continue its angle all the way out to a new high peak number. Should be a good run. Okay, well that was a little bit better of a run. Most importantly, I can see the shape is doing what I wanted it to. The earlier run where it was coming up and kind of leveling off and then even had a little dip and then re-escalation. Now we're pretty much staying, there is like still a little lull right there. So I need to pull more timing out of the cam maybe right there. So I'm looking at that as 6,400, 6,500, and I'm gonna look at the data log right there and take a little bit more cam timing out, and hopefully I can get this to pick up like that. Good bump. Doing nicely. Let me see what the shape looks like here. So there's the old two plots. I'm gonna click in the new plot right now. Yep. It replaced that one, but you can see how it got filled in, and now it's smoothly escalating up the whole time. No dip, no rise like that, just smooth. I'm hoping though, I'm gonna experiment and take a little bit more out universally rather than trying to nitpick that one spot, and see if the whole plot can move up as well. All right, a little better still, 228 on that run. All right, right now I am working on making that AFR perfect, especially focused on the transition from low cam to high cam. So take a look at my actual, now this is the prior run. The pink line is the target AFR and the red line is the actual. So you can see that right here we're dipping well below the target, and then just a moment later we're slightly above the target. Still at a 13.0, totally fine there, but a little bit above target, and then back here we creeped back down below it. On the next run, did a little bit better. You can see it's less jumpy. It doesn't come down quite as low. It was 11.4 on the prior run, 11.5 on this run, and then up here it doesn't go up to a 13. It goes up to a 12.6 right there. So That's very close to my target now. I'm gonna do a little bit more refinement and try to get that actual AFR to ride perfectly on my target line. An important detail, talking about target versus actual, is that right now, although the oxygen sensor is active, I've turned its trimming ability off. So by default, it's set to a max and min of -10 and +10. I've made those 0, so that right now, the AFR I get is the pure AFR resultant of my exact numbers in the table. It's not getting trimmed at all by the ECU. So I want to make it as perfect as I can possibly get it, and then I can re-implement the closed loop operation of the ECU. Sweet. Got our first touch of rev limiter there. Another couple horsepower. I think a good 7 more foot-pounds of torque though. Significant there. And then check out my AFR now. Much closer, much less of a dip down to that really rich area, and very consistent all the way across now. All right, well, I think we are nearing an end for the car here today. Everything has gone pretty well. We now have what I would say is a perfectly shaped dyno plot, making its peak power all the way out at the very end, just right at the rev limiter. It pulls up, stays up, no dips, no oscillation. Torque comes up and holds out as long as it can. Everything's looking as good as it can there. The AFR, the actual, is almost an overlay of the commanded. I might have another degree or so of timing, and maybe that would make another 3 horsepower, but for an all-out track car that I know is going to get flogged endlessly, I'm not seeking the final ragged edge horsepower. Honestly, I'm not seeking that on anybody's car. So maybe we could make a tiny bit more, but I'm not going there. I know that here it's going to be repeatable, reliable for many years to come. All right, so as I just mentioned, I'm very happy with the shape of the dyno plot right now. And the cam angle was the critical element in getting that shape. So I think I've established the shape right now, but it's possible that more power can be made by shifting the entire shape up or down. So now I'm gonna do a couple, not to say experimental, but I'm gonna move it up 2 degrees, I'm gonna move it down a couple degrees, and see what does better. And that will be like, that will match whatever airflow mods he has. So, you know, not every car is the same. The header is different, the collector is different, the length of the exhaust, all that comes into play with what cam angle is going to be optimal for this car. The horsepower did go up. Let's see if it was the real deal. No. So that was a reduction in cam timing, which I did expect would not make any extra power. So now I'm going to try to increase the cam timing, but maybe not in the very top end that I kind of already established that it doesn't want all the cam timing that was there. All right, so it looks like both an advance and a retard netted less power. So we were already at the optimum cam angle. Sometimes the car will make an extra 5 horsepower by moving up or down. You gotta check it, otherwise you could just be leaving free horsepower on the table. All right, that is gonna close out the Miata for the day. I did try playing with the cam angle there at the end. Didn't actually make any more horsepower. Gotta try it though, because in some cases there's a little bit of free horsepower hiding there. So 230, 231, 232 were our final 3 runs. Very consistent. I trust the car will remain that way on the track for the owner. And that's gonna do it, guys. See you next time.